Hello there and welcome back to War Thunder. Today's video will be entirely spent in the hangar and we will look at problems only in the hangar, and I want to point out things where I then, after I did it, raised just simply the question: are you okay with this? Are you even aware of this? And just look through your own account. If you come across similar problems, you can write them down in the comment section down below. And I think this has to do with what Gaijin has done over the past couple of days and even years. So just this is a nice summary, only with the stuff that we come across in the hangar. It has nothing to do with battle ratings or economy directly in game or in the battle, etc. And I just wanted to share those aspects with you. The video will be family friendly, so no cursing, swearing or insulting, and it will be not a rant, but it will be just pointing out certain things, and while I think that they are not okay. So we start off with, first of all, that the controls got reset, and I have customized a lot of those aircraft, tank and ship controls over the past couple of not just days but years. I'm playing this for 6.5 years and I love the game for a lot of its aspects, but certain aspects like this reset of the controls, etc., that's just really annoying. Now there is the option of saving this as export to file, and then when there is a reset occurring, then you can import from file. For me this has happened numerous times over the past couple of years, but it is really annoying when it happens. So that's point number one. The next points are mixed throughout the nations, and they are the removal of modifications, the buffs of nerfs of especially premiums, but also tech tree vehicles without notification, removal of ammunition, which is reflected again, and then also the repair costs, etc. And I just wanted to talk about this. So the first example is here the PV2D for the Americans. It's a rather rare event premium vehicle, and it was very cool because it had a huge Silverline modifier, huge bomb load and rocket load, good performance, a battle rating 3.3, very desirable, very good for Silverline grinding. Now the Silverline modifier has been reduced to 1.5. That is a huge hit. So, you paid for it on the Gaijin marketplace for a huge amount of Gaijin coins. Well, I think there is no refund possible. The next thing is the USS Brooklyn, and Gaijin has somewhat taken away 4,799 rounds of ammunition that I now have to restock, and 3 Silverlines per shells. Overall that's adding up to 14k Silverlines. That's not really neck breaking, but it's only one out of many ships. We go on to Germany, and there are many examples. The SA-40 Leichte was a ridiculously drastic example, because now it costs me 75,000 Silverlines to restock the 20mm HET magazines and the same amount for the APT magazines. And previously the belts were much more expensive, so then it was over 500,000 for all this. So overall the entire thing that Gaijin robbed me from my magazines overall was worth over 1 million Silverlines. I complained about this, the costs have been reduced, but I never got compensated for it in any way, shape or form. I didn't get back Silverlines, I didn't get back the ammunition, so that's just simply betrayal. The next thing is the same with the Nuremberg, again with the flak shells, and again it would cost me 20k. So this is really ridiculous, and the same goes here for the German Do 335A0. There was a change to the modification, and now you have to pay for it with again nearly 15k. Another example where I am really outraged about is how the P-47D got treated over the past couple of years. For me personally, it's a plane that I use very often, that I really like, and where I think that I know it quite a bit. So the history of the P-47 as a premium is quite interesting. First of all, it got to a very ridiculously low battle rating of I think even 3.7 at one point, and then the 50 cal buff came and it was really cool. It is different to a lot of the other German aircraft. It is a really great boom and zoomer, it has great energy retention, it has 50 cals, lots of ammunition, good high altitude performance, especially for this battle rating, but it doesn't really climb all that well. So Gaijin, for whatever reason, gave it then an air spawn, and this air spawn made it frankly overpowered. It got spammed out, then it got featured by a certain YouTuber. I don't blame this guy, by the way, because it was really worth showcasing, and so then it got even more popular. Then the complaints of the allied teams rose to such a degree that Gaijin was forced, frankly, to take the air spawn away, despite the fact that the allied P-47s also got this, by the way. And then they also got nerfed, and then the battle rating was also increased, but the repair costs were not touched, which was really great. And it also had the civil line modifier of 2.4 times 2.0, etc, etc. Now then on Monday, I think it was reduced to 2.3, and I was like, what's going on? And then a day later, it was at 2.2. So this is nerfing a premium in many aspects. First giving it an air spawn, then taking it away, and then also reducing the civil line income, maybe even the RP income, but I'm not quite sure about this. This is a direct nerf to a premium in one of its actual selling points, and that is just frankly unbelievable. Then an example that many of you are not aware or that you might have forgotten is that, for example, the British Griffin Spitfires, at one point, all their engine injections here, despite having already researched them and purchased them, so the plane was already spaded, Gaijin numerously has taken it away, took it away and gave you no compensation, maybe the civil lines, but you had to respade them. And that happened a couple of years ago when they were introduced. Not just with one plane, but with many. And not just only with the Griffins, but also with practically all the Spitfires. And when you want to have the perfect account, everything is spaded, everything is full restocked. It's really annoying to go back over and over again and respade those planes and tanks, and I'm not talking about here the addition of a module like the smoke launchers, etc. So much for that. Another beautiful example of really Gaijin shenanigans is the R2Y2s. So for all three of them, you see the symbol here where something got removed, and it is this bomb, and that is frankly the high explosive action bomb, and or it's the armor piercing. I think it's the armor piercing, right? No, that is the armor piercing, that's the high explosive, right. So the high explosive got taken away, and now I need to repurchase it for all three planes. That's roughly 9k, so we have roughly 26,000 civil lines to restock all those three planes. But now we come to another really funny aspect, and this, with the exception of the Italian and the French tech tree, affects all nations. Now, the specific example about the R2Y2 is that the repair costs got adjusted to 27, to 18, and to 17,000 civil lines respectively. So they got slightly adjusted, but the massive nerf was the removal of the air spawn. Okay, what the hell? What's going on? Yeah, Gaijin has completely butchered this plane, okay? Because with a start from the airfield, it is extremely vulnerable, and it doesn't have any sort of performance. What I always was talking about was reducing the altitude of the air spawn, but you know, they just gave it frankly an airfield spawn, which is ridiculous. I'm not even testing it, I'm just annoyed with this, but they keep the repair costs for the bombers. And Gaijin has a huge bomber problem, and they just don't get it nailed. They just don't manage to adjust here the repair costs. And we have 11 and 12 and 64,000 civil lines for certain prop bombers. I've complained about this in the past. I talked about numerous solutions for this, and that you get punished for not scumbagging. It forces people to space climb, to just drag out the game, to hopefully survive, because every successful game where you manage to get the bombs away in the American nation, you mostly lose the matches due to the fact how Allied and Axis teams interact. And then you have done your job and you get punished for it with this stupid huge amount of repair cost. This is an unplayable plane for a new player. You can get bankrupt playing this. Oh, that's just an American problem. Oh, no. Look into the German tech tree, ME264, 47,000 repair cost. Heinkel 177, 68,000 silver lines repair cost. For the Soviets, we have here with the PE8, 43,000 silver lines. And for the Tier-4, 46,000 silver lines. Holy shit! And for the British, well, we have here with the Lincoln 30,000 silver lines. Lancaster 18,000. Japan G8N1, beautiful bomber, 42,000 silver lines. Extremely broken. Now, I could point out many more examples, such as the T-29, the buffs and nerfs, the IS-6 buffs and nerfs, the Tiger II SLA-16 buffs and nerfs when it came out, the disaster with the Italian M60 DC Ariete with the removal of the stabilizer, etc., where there was frankly overall no real compensation given, and this is either great incompetence, lack of quality control, or just a greedy betrayal on the player base. Whatever it is, it doesn't really shine a good light at War Thunder, which is a great game, which I am with for over 6 years, which I really love. So the ultimate question comes now down to you guys. Do you think that this behavior of Gaijin treating us as the game would be still in alpha or beta is okay? Do you think that this is tolerable? Do you think that this is acceptable and okay? And if I should continue making such videos where I warn you about stuff, where I raise awareness for certain issues so that you don't fall into the trap. Think about being about to purchase the PV2D on the marketplace, because you saw a great round that I had in an old video, and I didn't make here an announcement that it has been changed, because those changes are on a daily basis. You can't keep track, and even if you purchase it with the full silver line modifier, etc., then there is no guarantee that stuff gets nerfed, even if you pay for it with real money or Gaijin coins or whatever. And I think this behavior from Gaijin must stop. Gaijin must become a company that is to be trusted, that it is to be worth making business with, because at the moment this is outrageous. Yes, I'm in a Gaijin partnership program, and yes, I immensely profit from it and I'm thankful for it, but for the average show player, if you will, there is just no guarantee that the purchase gets completely devaluated in just a week's or a few months time, and I think this is outrageous. I don't want to make videos like this, but again, the question is, do you think that this is okay? Because I honestly have to say, Gaijin, please cut the bullshit. Please make it stop. And we are there to forgive you. But the non-acceptable stuff, like the stuff that I showed, has to stop. Please become a company that is to be trusted. That's it for me today. If you agree, please hit the like button. If you disagree, hit the dislike button. Subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other in the skies, on the battlefields, and on the waves of War Thunder.